Zach, what's Tyler Boyd's status? Is he in concussion protocol?
Yes. Yep. So we'll take a day-to-day with him and see if he gets through it this week.
If Brandon Allen is healthy enough, will he start again, or are you moving ahead with Ryan Finley again this week?
We'll just see where his health is at. We got a couple days here to figure that out, then we'll make that decision.
Zach, you go into a week where maybe you get a chance to have the same group on the offensive line unless you change something. How refreshing, different is that going to be? It's
good. That consistency is critical, and those guys did a nice job for us. Their communication was good. They helped us in the run game. So that's that. We anticipated being the same, and that'll be good for us.
Coach, was there one aspect of the game this past Monday night that worked maybe better than you expected in terms of the overall game plan?
No, I just think getting the lead in the turnover battle the way we did and capitalizing it on offense early allowed us to play how we want to play a lot of these games, and get some of these runs called and continue to get points on the board. And so, again, just the aggressiveness of our defense early in this game allowed us to play how we had wanted to play this game.
Thank you.
Is it easier or harder to get the guys focused on a short week after a win?
It hasn't been a challenge to get these guys focused at all, to be quite honest with you. And I think that shows on how we played this game the other week. Again, this week, there's a lot of things to manage. It's a short week. We're on the road. You got Christmas. But again, I got a lot of faith in our guys to handle it the right way. And we've laid out our expectations for them, and we know that they'll be pros about it.
Von Bell obviously played a big game on Monday. Can you just describe, as a veteran leader, what his personality is like and how that's impacted the locker room?
Yeah, he's first one in the building every day, to get his lift in. And it's always good to be around Von. He's always got a great energy about him. He's a tough, hard-nosed football player, and so he stepped up in some big moments for us, especially these last couple of weeks, and really set the tone, in this game. And just appreciate everything Von brings to the table.
So Zach, obviously, when you were going
on Watson, and then you face another Watt brother this week, this time number 99 on the defense.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing that name on the back of the jerseys every week we play. But he's a tremendous football player. The first time I faced him was my first game in the NFL, coaching for the Dolphins. We opened at Houston. I think he deflected 5 passes. 3 of them got picked off. So that was my first welcome to the NFL coaching moment. But again, he's a tremendous player, and you got to be aware of him at all times.
Coach, have you had any conversations with the players about, you mentioned Christmas, and now guys, maybe some family members coming into town, COVID year, all that sort of thing. Do you have to talk to the players about being careful still? Season's winding down, but you still have to have those conversations? Yeah,
one of the important things just this entire season is weekly revisiting to that, because you see instances around the league of things popping up, and so again, you just got to continue to educate them and make sure everybody's disciplined about it. And our guys have done a great job up to this point, and we got to make sure we do a great job this week with that.
Zach, in the offseason, obviously you guys wanted to bring in a certain type of guy when you were looking at constructing the 2020 team. Were you starting to see some of the benefits when you're seeing guys like Von and Josh kind of play well and kind of have a residual effect in the locker room?
Absolutely. You really do. And those guys on defense, especially with the chemistry that they've developed over the course of the season, it's been a more consistent group, really post-bye with who's healthy and who's available. The first half of the season, it was more injuries were occurring weekly and we were losing guys. And so I think these guys are getting comfortable with the scheme, comfortable with each other. But again, the leadership that those two guys provide is tremendous, and that's been great to see.
Coach, your thoughts about Deshaun Watson? Does having to face Lamar Jackson twice a year at least give you some type of preparation for his dual threat ability?
It does, because they're just watching some of the highlight reels of this guy. He's unbelievable. He's one of the best players in the league. There's no question about that. Every play is alive until you see someone get him on the ground or the ball hits the turf, because he just extends a lot of plays that you don't think there's any way they can be extended. And really the other person that you see that does that is Lamar Jackson as well. So to answer your question, yes, it's all hands on deck for this guy. Tremendous playmaker. We got a ton of respect for him. It'll be a great challenge for our defense.
Does Joe Mixon have a shot at returning this week?
Not this week. we'll see about next week.
Going back to the quarterback, is that completely dependent on Brandon's health, or do you feel like Ryan did enough that he could have jumped him in the depth chart if he is available?
No, we'll continue to see where the health is at before making those decisions. But I thought Ryan played a really tough, gutsy effort on Monday night. He took some big hits and was able to make some key plays for us that helped us win that game. And but again, we'll continue to make that decision as the week goes.
Zach, out of practice, it looked like Mixon was saying hello to folks like he hadn't seen them in quite a long time. I guess, had Mixon been away from the team for a little bit?
No, it's complicated now when you can't be in a locker room, and so guys that aren't playing during the week, we just got to make sure we're smart about who's interacting with who. And so when he came out to practice, it's a tremendous jolt of energy when you get a chance to see him around. I talk to him often, just coming in the training room or FaceTiming him, whatever it is. But it's just different this year than most years. When you got a guy who knows he's not going to play that week, you want to keep them away from the other guys when they are in the building and in the locker room.
Got a Christmas message, Coach, to the fans out there?
Yeah, I hope everybody has a tremendous Christmas, and continues to take care of those around you. It's a tough time for a lot of people, and we all have a lot to be thankful for. And so, again, just taking care of those around you during these next couple of days, weeks, months, whatever it is. I've been really impressed just with the community here in Cincinnati overall, the way everybody's handled it, and it's been great to see.
Going back to Finley, he's a guy, he's taken a lot of criticism, whether it be from fans or social media or maybe some people on this call. Is he a guy that lets that roll off, or do you think is he a guy that kind of uses that as motivation?
It's hard for me to say. We don't talk directly about that, and I'm probably less aware than most people of what goes on outside the building. But I haven't seen it phase him. He's approached things the right way, and we obviously had confidence in him on Monday night.
2 more minutes with Coach.
What kind of growth have you seen from him from that 3-game stretch last year to the couple mop-up situations this year and then the start last week?
Well, this year he's obviously been put in some tough spots, coming in late in games. That's a challenge, but everybody continues to grow from their experience, and Finley's no different. The more experience you get on the field, the better you're going to be, and you can learn from all those experiences. You have to. If you don't, then that's on you. And so again, just I thought he played a very gritty game the other night and gave us a great chance to win.
Coach, go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead.
Looks like the next step for Finley is just airing it out more, throwing a little more often than needed. What does he have to do to progress in that area?
Well, it's not necessarily that. I mean, that's just the nature of the game when you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, even with a 4-man rush. We have a ton of respect for their rushers, and they're very aggressive with how they're going to attack the quarterbacks in the pass game. And so a lot of that was by design. That's not a reflection of Finley. That's just by design on how we knew we needed to play the game. And like I said earlier, when you get the 3 turnovers early, it allows you to continue to play the game a certain way, as opposed to if you're playing down 10-0 or 14-7 or something like that. Just allows you to call the game a certain way. And that was just more of a reflection on how we wanted to beat the Steelers rather than a reflection on Ryan Finley.
Coach, it seems like you found a pretty good guide tandem in Suafila in Spain. What do they bring to the table that maybe you haven't had? And are they a potentially opening day tandem this year?
That's we're happy with the progress that they're making. They do bring you that veteran experience there at both guard spots. They played a lot of football between the two of them. And so again, we got to have progress made by the offensive line, the whole offense as a whole. But again, we're looking forward to seeing what they can do Sunday against Houston. I'm not ready to make any declarations about next September.
Coach, the mind of the voters is always fickle, but were you surprised that Jesse Bates didn't make the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I was. I think he's very deserving. I'm glad we have him on our team. I wouldn't take anybody over him. Obviously the vote is what the vote is, and some guys really take issue with that. But the bottom line for us is Jesse has been a tremendous player for us, leader on the practice field, on the game field. Whenever we need a play to be made, Jesse's one of those guys I go to and say, it's your time to go make that play. And I count on him. The team counts on him. He hasn't yet to let us down. He's going to be a tremendous player in this league for a long, long time. He's going to be in the Pro Bowl many, many years after this. So again, we're just, bottom line is we're grateful that we have him here, and can't get caught up in all that other stuff.
One last
Zach,
question.
how have you seen him grow over the past 2 seasons?
I hate to use the word mature because Jesse's not an immature person, but sometimes your first year or two in the league, you just kind of getting accustomed to things and new coaching staff and the way everything's done. And I just think this year his approach every single day he walks in the building is the same. He brings energy, whether it's a walkthrough or whether it's a real practice rep, or whether it's on the game. You really don't see the difference with Jesse. And so that's really impressive to see a guy like that mature, just in that way, and that he's consistent on every single rep that he takes. And again, very pleased with the progress he's made, and that's just a credit to him. A lot of that has to do with just the way he wanted to approach things this year, and it's been fun to watch.